Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kickin podcast. I am one half of the podcast, Robbie Collins. My co-host Owen is currently running late. I don't know where he is. He said he's just coming. So since it's 8 o'clock, but I had to start with him. I'm sure he'll be here in a couple of minutes. On tonight's episode, of course, it is the Manchester derby. That is the big talking point this weekend on Sunday. Obviously, a very big game. We will be recapping last night's games. Obviously, me and Owen both watched the Merseyside derby. So there's some very interesting points to kick on about that. Also, there's some Arsenal news about Gabriel. We'll get into that a wee bit later on. There's some big transfer stories down the rounds as well. So there's so much to get into on today's show. Still waiting on. It should not be too long. I'm sure he'll pop in at some point during the show. Obviously, there is a game that is just I think it's kicked off now, about 2 minutes in. It's Chelsea versus Tottenham at Stamford Bridge. Just to quickly read out the team sheets. For Chelsea, it's Sanchez and goals, back for Augusto, Chalobah, Colwell, Cucurella, Caicedo and Fernandes in the midfield. Pedro Neto on the right wing, Sancho on the left, Palma in the number 10 position, and it's Nicholas Jackson up front. For Tottenham, they've got Vicario in goals. Back forward, they did Spence, Romero, Van de Ven, Udogi, Bergvall, Bentancur and Maddison make up the midfield. Heung-min Son on the left, Odobert on the right and Dominic Solanke is in the middle. Subs for each team. This Chelsea one's going to be fun to try and say. There's a player here. Ache Ampong, Badashil, Dewsbury Hall, George, James, Jorgensen, Nicholas Madueke, Nkunku and Adebayo. Subs for Tottenham. Bissouma, Ben Davies, Archie Gray, Ben Johnson, Kinski, Mikey Moore, Pedro Porro, Sarr and Matthias Tell. If you are watching this live, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave any comments you might have about the Chelsea-Tottenham game or any of the games happening this weekend. Obviously, there's a very big game coming up. Owen is still not here. We are just going to need to get into the news then. Arsenal's defender Gabriel will miss the remainder of the season after the club confirmed he requires hamstring surgery. The Brazilian was substituted in the first half of Arsenal's 2-1 win against Fulham at the Emirates on Tuesday. The former Lille defender started 28 of Arsenal's 30 Premier League matches for this term, helping the club to the best defensive record in the division with 25 goals conceded. Arsenal said the 27-year-old is aiming to return to action in time for the start of the 2025-2026 campaign. There's been some quotes here. They've said Gabby will undergo a surgical repair to produce his hamstring in the coming days and immediately begin his recovery and rehabilitation programme with the aim to be ready for the start of next season. This is a big miss for Arsenal. We know how good defensively they can be. Gabriel, obviously, as you read there, 28 or 30 Arsenal games he's started, so he's a pretty important player to Arsenal's, team. He said, there's been some stats here. Last season saw 163 hamstring injuries, the highest for 5 years, according to figures from Premier Injuries. Arsenal are second in the Premier League, currently 12 points behind leaders Liverpool with 8 matches remaining. The Gunners face holders Real Madrid in the Champions League quarter-finals. First game's obviously April the 8th. Ancelotti's side will go to North London and then they will travel to the Bernabeu on the 16th of April. Should be an interesting one. Obviously, Gabriel's going to be a big miss for both the games. I don't suspect Arsenal will get through against Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid are just maybe a bit too strong for them, but you never know. That's what's so good about the Champions League. We've got some transfer stories. Manchester City, we've got manager and player stories. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola and former Brighton boss Roberto De Zerbi, who's currently with Marseille, are being considered as candidates by AC Milan. Now, that's quite interesting. Obviously, Pep probably will leave City after this season, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Liverpool and Chelsea want to sign 19-year-old Bournemouth defender Dean Hulson this summer, but will face competition for Real Madrid for the £50 million rated Spain international. Egyptian forward Mo Salah is set to extend his contract with Liverpool after months of speculation. Man United, Liverpool and Newcastle are showing interest in Como's 19-year-old Senegal winner, Hassan Diallo. We actually have Kino in the chat, alright mate, hope you're doing well. And here he is, he's finally showing up. Hello.
Hello mate.
How are we?
Not bad mate, not bad.
Good stuff. I was just going over obviously the Chelsea Tottenham team sheet.
Fair enough mate.
That game
Good
kicked
goal
off
that was on.
6 minutes ago, and then I was just talking about the Gabriel being injured for the rest of the season.
Oh no, massive.
What do you make of that?
Well, obviously I seen that earlier and I was like, wow, that's going to be it's going to be a miss for Arsenal, but obviously they've got nothing to play for the new anyway, until next season. But if he's out for the start of the season, he's going to be a massive miss for him. So, but we've seen with Gabriel, him and Saliba at the back beat each other. One of the best defenders in the world.
It's a good centre back partnership. Obviously, Arsenal do take on Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Oh, true. I forgot about it.
I mean, how big a miss could he be for both of their games?
Oh, it's going to be a massive miss. Like, actually, Real Madrid's going to be a very, very tough game with the likes of Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Junior. Vinicius Junior running at you, man. But obviously, kind of hoping that Arsenal do it because I would love to see somebody else win something, and it would be good to see them win the Champions League for once.
Dino makes a good point. Real have a lot of injuries. I mean, like obviously, although they might have a few injuries, I think it's safe to say Real are maybe one of the favourites for the Champions League.
Oh, definitely. They'll all be.
Obviously, a lot of people still sort of count on Barcelona as well, who, that is a bit mental to think about. If you said at the start of the season Barcelona would probably be front runners for the Champions League, you'd maybe laugh at yourself, but they're a well set up team now. As loaning out, the Tebow isn't fully fit. I mean, that's obviously going to be a big, position, the goalkeeper position for Real Madrid.
Mbappe in goal.
Well, listen, if it's anything to go by on FIFA, you might as well stick them in goals, Jesus. Barca and PSG favourite, I'd probably agree with that, to be honest. Owen?
They're definitely favourites. Obviously, I've said Barca won it from the very start of from the very start, but kind of hoping that Aston Villa can do something against PSG. It would be very good for the likes of them, because if they can get to a semi-final, then they could. I think they would be playing Barca if actually Barca and Aston Villa both won, but obviously I'd like to see Aston Villa get somewhere and get, because they've been very good with Unai Emery and the signings they've made. Because you've seen the game last night with the highlights, and they're very, very good.
Let's waste no time. We obviously know what game we're here to speak about. It is, of course, the Manchester Derby at the weekend. Look, this game is an interesting one. Obviously, Kino is a very big Man United fan. Man U currently sit 13th in the league. It's not been a great season for United, I'll be honest. They're kind of banking on this Europa League now. If they want to win something, even by playing Champions League football next season, because let's face it, they're well out of the top 4 race now.
Yep.
Owen and I, we both had the privilege of being able to watch the most recent Man U game against Nottingham Forest. They obviously lost 1-0. I don't know if you watched the actual game. I know you've seen the highlights. One player we obviously need to touch on, and I've spoke to Kino about this before, Garnacho. I mean, wow, speak about having bad games for a team. That maybe, I don't know, I think, I mean, look, how do you feel about Garnacho? Because it was a very, very bad game. I mean, look, I don't want to just blame Garnacho. I don't think Man United were good enough. I thought on the goal that Alanga scored, I thought the defending was very poor as well.
When you see the goal back, obviously Garnacho was very unlucky not to win the ball. But then I think the left wing back could have done probably a bit better to cover as well, and come in and cover and stop the shot or something. But obviously Garnacho's unlucky. But Garnacho's he's no. I don't rate him at all.
Let's put
I
it
don't.
bluntly, he's shite. Sorry, Keno.
Aye,
Sorry. You know what? It was. Like, I always feel bad just calling a player shite because every player's in the Premier League for a reason.
yeah,
But oh my God, that man does not know how to pick out a pass.
I know.
I said that to
He's
you, like, and I said in some of the situations, I look at it and go, right, if that's the other side of the park, or if that's another winger in the Premier League, they can pick out a pass. I look at Garnacho and I go, his first instinct and he see this, I need to shoot.
yeah.
I've batted him since he was 15 in the youth, but he was better than he is now. I mean, look, I'd love to know what you think his biggest issue is, because I think it is his passing. I don't think he's got that eye, that maybe a Salah does, or, any other wingers, even to go as far as Jadon Sancho, which I know Keno will probably laugh at, but like
Mm,
somebody that just knows how to pick up an obvious pass.
I know.
He's getting worse since his debut season. Eagle Ronaldo ability. I mean, Owen, what do you think Garnacho's biggest problem is?
uh, he's no good. He's no good at passing the ball. Like he's not really the greatest at passing the ball. Like he done that. He's done one probably good thing for Man U. And he scored that overhead kick for against Everton back in the time. But then since that, he's just no. He's not been the same player. I would say. To be honest with you, but Garnacho, he just shoots and he's very very greedy. There was one 2 years ago where he had a shot, and I'm not even kidding. He went back so much and he went out of the stadium. Um,
I'd
but
taken
honestly,
Garnacho with every limb missing over Mr. Freedom, Jadon Sancho. No, like, I think every Man U fan would take Garnacho or Sancho, but my point is, Sancho's a guy that he might have not worked at Man United, but like an Anthony over in La Liga, sorry,
no.
he can not only dribble with the ball, but he knows how to pick up a pass as well, which is something that you
Mhm.
don't see Garnacho do very often. We move over then to the other side of Manchester, the blue side. Man City come sit fourth in the Premier League, picked up
Yep.
a comfortable 2-0 win versus Leicester. I think they scored what after a minute.
Aye, 2 minutes into the day.
2 minutes in, Jack Grealish. He just shoots on sight in every shot as well. Pretty much how to sum him up. Look, obviously, it's at Old Trafford. Just before we obviously get into the predictions and stuff. Speak about wingers being able to do things. You've got a couple of very good Manchester City wingers sitting there. You've obviously got Haaland, who's of course missing for the game. He'll be back next season now. He's
Yep.
completely out of the game, so that is for Man City. That's a pretty big blow.
Yep.
And for Keno's national team, I know Keno's a Norwegian guy, so I don't know if there'll be an international break, and he'll be missing that, but it could be.
Mm.
Obviously they have Grealish, Doku, Foden, who I think Foden for Man City usually plays more than in the middle than
Yeah.
out wide. City have players that can hurt you. Obviously, as Keno says, Grealish's first goal in a year and a half.
Yep.
He's now got that goal. What's it else? Saying completely nose dog out left wing back every game, very selfish. Foden is wank. There's a United bias in there. But I mean, look, City have players that can hurt you. Do you think that's the main difference going into this game for City? That's Grealish now got his goal. There is players in that City team that can hurt United. That although obviously the big miss is Haaland.
Aye. Well, obviously they've also got that striker of that Olamush guy, whatever to call him.
Marmoush.
Aye, obviously he's there, so he'll probably play up front in the game. But like obviously, as you say, Gale should probably have that confidence now to drive on that after getting a goal. Obviously, I know it's only a Leicester City team, right? But any goal boosts his confidence up for people. Um, Obviously, you've seen the Man City team as well. They've got Bernardo Silva in there, and they've got Gundogan, and other ones. Even Kovacic, when he's in that role at Rodri, he's actually quite decent as well when he's in there. Obviously, that guy that came on at half time, that O'Reilly boy to play at left back for Man City against Bournemouth, and he came on and he got 2 assists and he got his place against Leicester, so wouldn't be surprised if he was starting again on Sunday. But wow, they've got Bosnia Hutty and they've got quality, and it'll be a very good game hopefully, and just see what happens with it.
I think Keenan makes a good point. Not biased to be fair, and for England they get played in 4 different positions, moving Bellingham, Saka and Palm out, and they were still shit.
Yep, it was.
It's a good point, but let's waste no time on it's predictions time. It's a very big game. Keen, I want to hear your predictions in the comments. Owen, we'll go to you first. What's your predictions for this game?
Oh, it's gonna be. I can see goals, but honestly, it's one of these ones, man. Because like you expect goals in Manchester Derby, and then you watch the game, and it's absolutely dire, and it finishes 0-0. But also hope that's not the case with this one. I hate these games, man, because they're so annoying with it.
No predictions for United games, not anymore. We'll get battered, as I'll say. No
Well,
confidence.
you know what? I'm going to go with one that probably people don't think with him, but I'm going to go with it anyway. The last
Right.
Manchester Derby was a 2-1 win to Man U at Etihad when we did not in. Nobody expected that. Man City couldn't finish the game off. Man U get 2 late goals and deserved to win it.
Oh, that game is mad.
I am going to go Man U 3, Man City 1.
Going out.
It's Old Trafford, fans behind them, going do your work.
That's a very bold prediction, but I like it. I quietly agree with it, but I'm not going to go with 3-1 United. I think there will be a winner. I don't think this is going to finish a draw.
Nah.
I'd be very surprised at Old Trafford if this finished a draw, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, I'm going to go Man City 2, Man United 1. I think City win it. I think Mamouche scores a double in this game.
Nice.
And I think, you might laugh at me for saying this, I think Garnacho scores in this game. I think he will score. Look, I think this will be an entertaining game.
Aye.
I'm going to get absolutely slaughtered after Keenan, and that's going to be a fun night.
Do I know something, by the way?
Go.
Stephen Bunton's won 2 games.
Oh, no, I know. No, it's mental. He's also doing very well.
Aye.
But gone back then, because we did have some interesting games, and the only reason I want to go back to last night is, of course, Liverpool won, Everton 0. Diogo Jota scored the game. Scored the game. He scored the winning goal. Sorry, lads, I'm tired and I've got a job interview tomorrow. Let me be. Jota did score the winning goal, but that's not what we're here to talk about. It is, of course, the red card decision. And I'll leave it open to you, but you know what I'm thinking. It's an absolute shocker, and Tarkowski should have been at the park. Just quickly, sorry, before we get into that. Should play case Casemiro, Ugarte, Bruno Mount, Hoyland and doing natural bench, fair enough. I mean, Keno says, on the floor's open to you, that Tarkowski challenge.
Well, at first, when it happened, I'm like, right, this is just a classic. Because it happened so fast on, like, at normal time. It happened so fast, right? And when you seen the tackle happening, all you thought was, this guy's just, it's a Merseyside derby. There's going to be a lot of flying tackles in, right? He's went in, won the ball, but obviously in normal time, you didn't see the follow through. Most people might have, but I didn't. I just seen a normal Merseyside derby tackle, and Tarkowski wins the ball and goes right through McAllister. But I didn't think it was bad until you see the replays. It is woeful. You see that replay, and I'm like, right. Obviously, I'm like, that didn't happen on that. Obviously, did happen on field, but it was that fast and how fast it went me. But the tackle is disgusting. Every time you look at it, it's really, really bad. Everyone's saying it's a red card. Whatever that VAR team has said to that referee, it was no red card, is bizarre. And I'm telling you, even that PGMOL finish came out and said that they've admitted it's an error, and rightly so. But that doesn't matter. I don't care if you're saying it's an error. You should see that in real time, and you've no seen it in real time.
I honestly
And
think, sorry, just like I honestly think, and I said that to you last night, I think the
aye,
referee on the pitch had the best view of it.
aye,
It was right behind
okay, also.
It was right behind McAllister, looking on at his leg. Surely, as a referee looking at both players, he would have seen that.
Aye, but people could make the fact that like the reason he's not seen the McAllister with the left leg is because maybe McAllister's right leg is his right leg has covered the boot maybe of Tarkowski, and that's why he's not seen it. But the referee with the VAR team should have said to the referee, complete and utter error. His studs are high. He's won the ball, came through, hit him in the right on the leg, and followed down. And if McAllister, that could have been a leg breaker. It could have been an absolute leg breaker.
Oh, if his foot was planted in the net plot, was it a leg breaker?
Yes, if his foot was planted on that flare, leg breaker, and you're out for the rest of the season, and out for the rest, out for the good part of the season anyway, for next season.
But you understand the ref making the mistake. VAR every angle. So, aye, that's my biggest gripe. I cannot believe VAR to that and did not even send the ref to the monitor to go and
No,
check it.
referee should have been sent to that monitor, and he should have been given one look at the screen. And when you see that, when you go to the screen and you see that, so when you play it through, you get one look at it, and you turn away from that screen. There shouldn't be any more looks. Shouldn't take you anywhere in one look to go over there, turn away from it, and take out the yellow and say no a yellow, and then you pull out the red card and send them off. But the fact that they've not done that on that game is really bad. Because James Tarkowski, honestly, see for that tackle, you should be getting a fucking life sentence for that. Honestly, he
That
even
was
apologised to him, by the way.
Eh?
He apologised to McAllister after the game.
As I should.
I know, but then he was saying that our goal should have not stood because he had to play the ball.
Right, that was going to be the next talking point. Obviously, the red card wasn't the only big decision in the game.
Yep.
There was obviously an offside call on the goal.
Yep.
I've named the nose that Tarkowski saw the ball's nearly getting played through. Was it to Diaz?
Yes.
And because it's Tarkowski, the game, a bit of credit. He doesn't know Diaz is offside, obviously in the situation because he's
Yep.
not looking. He's not looking at Diaz. So he
Aye.
slides in to prevent the ball going to Diaz, and then that the ball obviously falls to Jota, was it? Who runs through
Yeah,
and
he
scores.
flicks it on the Jota, right?
Aye, who flicks on the Jota, goes through and scores. Now, obviously, there's a lot of controversy on this. Owen, I want to get your take on it. Did you think this was offside? Try and be as unbiased as possible because obviously we follow Liverpool.
Yep.
So try and be as unbiased as possible. Do you think this was offside and should have it been given offside?
I can see why people would obviously think it should have been offside, right? But the fact that you can clearly see that I think Diaz knows himself that he is offside in this game for the build up to the goal. I think he knows he's offside and he's not going to play a big part in it, and he's just going to stand there and not get involved. And if the ball gets played to him and it goes through to him, he would leave the ball because he knows he's offside and let somebody hopefully run onto it. But the fact that he's not played actually an impact in it, he's not even moved towards the ball. He's just stood there and waiting for it, I think. So he's just stood there, and obviously Tarkowski is in the right frame of mind. He has to go for it either way. He's a defender. You need to do it if he's on and off. And obviously he plays the ball out to somebody, and then Diaz runs on it and flicks on the Jota, and then Jota does brilliantly to skip by the defence. So I know why people are saying that it could be offside, but
So you say you know why people are saying it could be offside. In the rules, categorically, is that an offside?
Aye, it would be.
Right, so realistically, there's no debate to your point. Then, if that in the rule book is offside, then you've got to give it off. It's as simple as that.
Aye, obviously.
If he in the rule book, and it's fine saying, "Oh, but he just stood there and he obviously would have let it go." But it's the rules. If the rules state that the only reason Tarkowski ever slid in was because he thought Diaz was on. In his
Aye.
head, he knows that Diaz is on. So
Aye.
I get your arguments for that, but if it's in the rules, that should be offside, then unfortunately Liverpool fans, as much as it doesn't matter now, then you've got to put your hands up and say we got lucky then.
Aye, you definitely ought to say that as well. You definitely ought to say if you get lucky with it, but I personally just think like the fact that he's no, I know he's trying to play it through to Diaz, but I know he's not playing an impact in it. So that's why you feel like they've just said, nah, he's not playing an impact in this game, so it is play. So that'll be a goal in field, but Andy Rose obviously should be probably getting his offside, but oh well.
Aye, well, we're going to win, didn't we?
We did that.
Sorry, that's just been a bit mean. I had to go and get the cat there. Right, we are sober.
Love
Oh, I love it when this happens because then you just lose all sense of what you were going to say next.
it.
Former Premier League winning striker Chris Sutton said the law was well known among the players. It's clever from Luis Diaz really because he knows he is onside once Tarkowski has played the ball. I don't think changing the law is a good idea. It's more complicated than just this one scenario because without having this subjective element, you would be back to where everything is offside. If you're Everton, you feel slightly hard done by. I get that, but everything can't be black and white unless you want to go back to the days where if anyone was offside, then that was the call. I mean, what do you make of that?
Well, obviously, he does have points. He has to get to the points on it, right? They should feel done hard by with not getting the offside. But obviously, aye, as I said, it does make good points. Chris Sutton, a lot of times as well. It's not often as they say that, but he does. But he's got a point. But probably should have been caught off, if I'm being honest with you.
Aye. Last talking point for the episode. I know we're both very tired. Sheffield United have been fined £120,000 following a melee in the 1-1 championship draw against Bristol City in March. It was alleged both teams failed to ensure their players did not behave in an improper or proactive manner in the 94th minute of the game at Bramall Lane. The Blades were also fined £80,000 in January, having admitted a similar charge following a 2-2 draw with Coventry City. The charge against the Robins was their fifth non-standard breach since August. Sheffield United's punishment followed a hearing by independent regulatory commissions, while Bristol City accepted a standard fine of £5,000. This way, others United side moved top of the championship table despite the late Robins equaliser leading to the melee. Bristol City defender Rob Dickie and United defender Jack Robinson were booked in the aftermath of this confrontation. I mean, look, I love a bit of passion in the game,
Aye,
but Jesus Christ, I don't know if you've seen any clips. That was mental.
I've not seen any of that, man.
Oh, I'd go and look at it. It was certainly something.
So was that game winner?
Yeah, so it was Sheffield United and Bristol after their game. I believe there was a late goal in the game. It was a 1-1 championship draw. So I believe, hold on, let me just, so Bristol City score to make it one in the 90th minute.
Yeah.
Then I believe it was straight after the game when they're shaking hands and stuff. These two players, Robinson and Dickey were both confronting each other, and it just kind of spiraled out of control a wee bit.
Oh my god.
Aye, we do love a bit of brawling. Obviously, last week it was a Scottish manager getting fined for what the fuck are you doing? Honestly, you pick the worst times to cause drama here. Aye, obviously last week we had the Scottish manager getting sent off for his accent, and this week it's a Keenan says VAR's close because it doesn't make a move towards the ball while offside, but it does directly affect Tuchel's action 9 times out of 10. That gets ruled out. I think that's fair.
No,
You are
definitely
gonna
not
say.
sure.
Aye. But aye, that is all for episode 2. Here's Mirren content for anyone not seen it in a while. Okay. But aye, we will end it there. I am very tired. I need to go and get some sleep. So thank you so much to anyone who watched. If you're watching this back at a later date, please do comment on any of the situations. Please like, subscribe, share this with a friend. Why not? And we will be back next Thursday. I promise this time it'll be at 7 p.m. It will definitely be Thursday 7 p.m. hopefully. But I've been Robbie. That has been Owen. If you want to say goodbye.
See you after, mate.
Kino says Mirren. We all love her, and we will see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Bye.